God has not created this life without a purpose. And there's no way he would have created us also without a purpose. So he created us here that there is something that he had created with us to come here and achieve. And that's why one man can die and the whole world will tremble and remember him and say, this man called Nelson Mandela had done something for not South Africa, but the whole world. Amen. Because he believed in something that many are running away from. He's running towards what kills people. He's running towards what people are running away from. And he's saying that if it kills me, let it be written that I stand and I defend it in what I believe, that everyone is equal before God, and democracy is something that must be reigned, and there is no one that should be oppressed in their motherland. Amen. So here we see one man defending what he believes, and because of that, he endured the pain. God has to transform him. God has to make the enemy overpower him at that time. But what they don't know was that they kept him so that he will learn more about life. He was a very aggressive young man growing up, but keeping him for 27 years calm him in a way that some voices begin to speak to him about how he will handle life. So he came out in a different form. He came out a different man. He came out with a different method. He came out with a different approach that when he talks to people, they cannot believe that it was this same man who left us and went away has now been changed. It is called transformation. Amen. The moment he walked out, he raised up his hand in feast and he declared himself. And as I was reading an article, one man asked him and said, but why don't you have hatred for these people? He said, hatred is not the key. Hatred divides nation. Love unites people. But everyone yet will quote Mandela's words, but can't go through what Mandela go through. Everyone wants to have a moment of shining. I want to be a preacher. I want to be this. You got to go through certain things also in life. There got to be some pain you have to endure. So before you envy anyone, ask God, whatever they go through, I want to go through it also. Some don't be thinking it's just a kind of a way that you just jump the gun and just because there had to be a way that your life had to be transformed, and that transformation is not one day, ladies and gentlemen. It is a continuous way that the Lord will begin to mold you and change you and mold you and change you and mold you and change you and transform you into what manner He wants you to be. That's what church is for, ladies and gentlemen. Because the more you come, the more He touches you. The more He comes, the more He touches you. This is why I don't understand when people think that when a preacher preaches, he's talking about them. Who else would he talk about if he doesn't want you to remain the same way you are? Who else should the word be spoken to other than you? That you are living a style that you are not supposed to. There had to be a way that you have to change. There had to be a way you have to think differently. If you don't think differently in that manner, then you can be rest assured that you ain't going nowhere. Amen. Oh God. What do you do when God is changing you and you are resisting the change of God? How do you move along in life when God throws things on your way to prepare you for some greater things, but yet you are not able? I was just wondering. This is one thing that I wish I could ask him. Ask him and said, sir, Mr. Mandela, how do you cope? Well, while you were there, how do you do it when you are not allowed anyone to come and visit you except 2 people in a year? What do you do when your son was killed and you were called and reported to, and then you went back into yourself? What do you do? How do you cope all along? What was in your mind? But I couldn't get an answer. Because he couldn't speak to me directly, but he spoke to many through his book that he called Long Walk to Freedom. Have you ever been big and you want to be skinny and you're looking for all manners of being skinny? There's all kinds of herbal tea in your house, all kinds of pills. and they lie to you. All you have to do is pop it in. You don't need to exercise, and you keep doing it. And for a few days, he went down. For another few days, buka, he come back up. There is no quick fix, ladies and gentlemen, to anything that is going to be greater. You cannot have anything quick fix. The man had something in his mind that he will become. The man had something in mind, it is called equal justice. The man had something in mind and he's saying, I don't mind dying for what I believe in because I know I'm here for a purpose. God had not brought me thus far. He had not allowed me to go to the law school so that I'll come here and not be able to. Anytime you are in some place and you're not able to contribute to that place, either mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, you don't belong there. No, you don't. There had to be a way that you will participate in what is done there, and you have to be involved in doing it. That's when you can say, I did my part. If every one of us do what we have to do, ladies and gentlemen, I can assure you that there will be no more suffering and there will be no much pain. Your life does not become the same when you go through changes. It becomes more better than it used to be. And so if you cannot endure the change, you cannot expect any changes because it will never come. You either be the way you are or you go through things and make a change. So changes become something that none of us want to have. We don't want it. We don't like it. But without a change, there is no future. When renewal comes to your life, the Bible is saying that you have to be born of water and the Spirit. Meaning that when these changes will come upon you, it will not leave you the same as you are. It will turn you around. And the only way you can do is not changing your body, ladies and gentlemen, it's changing your spirit.